All right. Here we go. Seeing out the weekend. Sunday night. And hello, Luke, first in the chat. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I should have got that out of the way before I started, but I just felt it coming up then. So apologies for being a disgusting little piggy animal, but, it is what it is. Namely, I'm a disgusting little piggy animal. It's as simple as that. So, yay. How good's the color on that drink? Clarified drink. It looks so beautiful and emerald. I think I should make it for my channel. I just made it to use up a drink, but oh my God, it's just sweet because it's just a couple of liqueurs. Oh God, it's amazing. It's probably too sweet. It probably needs something to cut the sweetness. Tea, maybe? Tea's a classic thing for punches. Not sure what that would do to the color though. It's got blue curacao, and blue curacao has got a really strong artificial color, and so it still comes out green. Not sure how well because the webcam has problems with green. Not sure how well it's showing it off, but it is an absolutely brilliant, clear emerald green. It is a visually attractive drink. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it tastes good. And because it's liqueurs, it's not actually that high alcohol. It's like really nice. It does look green. Good. Thanks, Luke. I'm glad it looks green. I'm never really sure. I don't think this laptop gives me a very accurate idea of what the video looks like. Yeah, it's like it's really pleasant and nice. And then it's kind of like, well, it's actually probably a bit too sweet. Might actually put some serious thought into that. Something like a spirit that I could make this with. Probably rum. Rum is what springs to mind. Or tequila, because then it would be a margarita. Tequila and curacao. That's a margarita. He said, clutching her straws. That's a margarita. Oh, for God's sake. Stupid fucking site. Actually, I know. If I look up curacao, might actually just have a collection of curacao. Cocktail by ingredient. How about I do that? By liqueur. Okay, I'll go orange curacao first, and then go for blue. 139. A lot of fruit cups. Yes, so many drinks. So many beverages to choose from on a lazy Sunday night. Ampersand. Boozy brandy-influenced wet and sweet martini with a hint of orange. Well, okay, you got me. That combination of descriptors. Okay, so it's gin and cognac and sweet vermouth and just a little bit of orange curacao. That's not at all what I was looking for. It honestly sounds like an okay drink, but not what I was looking for. Luke, yes, the weirdest thing is I went to bed and then I woke up at 4 a.m. and I had to take a piss because I'd actually had a couple of drinks during the live stream, and then I couldn't go back to sleep. I just lay in bed for an hour and a half. Then I thought, fuck this, and I got up and I was playing around on the computer and watching stuff and doing whatever's. And then about 7:30, I got tired again and went back to bed and slept for another couple of hours. So I've caught up on my sleep deficit, as it were. So fight and fit. This is mostly, it's actually not all that clear, this ice. I was struggling trying to make square, clear ice, and I don't have the proper receptacle. I got this lunchbox. It looks a little shiny. Yeah. I got this lunchbox, which is double insulated, so it kind of works, but I need something that's deeper. So maybe when we're not locked down, I'm going to go to some specialist kitchenware places, and they might have some insulated stuff for inspiration. Hello, Abigail. Cheers. Yep. Okay, that drink has a lot of potential, but it needs something to make it less sweet. A spirit, I think. And a quest for a spirit. What's it? Chanticleer gin? Maybe a dry gin, actually. Yeah, maybe a gin, and I just have to come up with something. Just kind of looking for inspiration. What's a Chanticleer? Gin, vermouth, curacao, egg white. I mean, that's a martini with some curacao and with an egg white. So that is a very weird one. I mean, if I was clarifying it, I wouldn't make it with an egg white. Big deep. And hello, Chris. How's it going, sir? I'm busy looking for inspiration. Inspiration. Ooh, looking for the silver lining. That sounds interesting. Rum, lime juice, curacao, syrup, Irish cream liqueur. I could use the Irish cream as the clarifying agent. Clarified silver lining. See, that's got it going on, actually. Rum, curacao, sugar syrup, and clarified with an Irish cream liqueur. I can make that. Now, also, I could probably come up with some play on words about a clarified silver lining. Like we're looking, you talk about clouds having a silver lining, and then clarified something about it was cloudy, but now it's clear. Clearing clouds with a silver lining. I don't know. I might be trying too hard. I don't know. Food for thought. Food for thought on what wordplay we could work out of that. So it's called Look for the Silver Lining. I could call it Look for the Clarified Silver Lining, maybe. Here's the cocktail he describes as a cognac-laced Hawaiian pizza. I mean, I've got to see what that is. So that's cognac, orange curacao with pineapple juice. See, that could work. Cognac with the blue curacao. Not sure what color that would go, because the cognac has its own color. God, this is a decadent sweet treat, this one. It really tastes like some sort of dessert. It's oh my God. It's just because it's all fucking sugar, basically. It's blue curacao and Midori that I clarified. Abigail, you need a cocktail that would stop you from coughing. You think you inhaled a cat hair. Oh, no. So you want something with honey. Yeah, no, I was just coming up with what I give. Maybe the honeyed whiskey liqueur I have. That's like not even as a cocktail, literally just, yeah, chill some of this honey whiskey liqueur and just sup that. Or we could make something creamy so it would coat your throat. I always think of limoncello as well, which is probably because when I have a cold, Mrs. Angry makes me this really nice lemon and honey drink that she brews up on the stove. And this really good limoncello I've got tastes a lot like that. So like lemon and honey. Ooh, whiskey. I'm thinking if I tried this honey whiskey liqueur with limoncello, like, so it's a whiskey honey thing, whiskey honey lemon. My mind is erasing. But I think whiskey generally, like you've got some Nova there. Sorry, absolutely inhaled at the wrong time then. Yeah, Metal Maniac Matt thought my hair looked weird last night. Very radically different today because I washed it today and didn't put any product in. So it's all floofy. As opposed to last night when it was wet and brushed back, basically. Hello, Megalich. Tell you another thing about last night was a very bad advertisement for sobriety because I'd been feeling just slightly off for a few hours and I was a bit lackluster at the start of the stream. And then I had some drinks and I was fucking off to the races. Yeah, I felt great. After I had a couple drinks, I felt great. And I don't know if that was hair of the dog or what. Yeah. The only trouble with my hair like this, I always feel like it looks like a comb over. And it's not. Look, it's not a comb over. Well, I mean, see, when you do that, you can tell I'm not combing over. But then loose bits come down. You know, I'm not ashamed of my 5 head. I've always had a huge fucking head. So, but I don't want it to look like a comb over when I don't actually have a comb over. Because that's annoying. So I'm just looking at one of the tabs I have open. It's truncated because the title of the page is the cocktail name, Look for the Silver Lining Cocktail. And it's been truncated. So it just says, Look for the Silver Lining Cock. And I'm like, okay. That also happens on Discord. There's a Discord with YouTube bartenders. And one guy's channel's called It's All About the Cocktail. And when you see the list of who's online, his channel name always truncates to It's All About the Cock. And it's like when I edit videos. And the first thing I've got to do, because I record audio separately to video, and I've got to sync up the sound on the video and the audio recorder. It's the first thing I do when I'm editing. And so when I get to the start, it's like, and I hit play and then gets a bit where I start talking. And almost every time, because I open nearly every video by saying, G'day, cocktail lovers. As I talking, I pause it when I start talking, and almost every time it pauses on, "G'day, cock." All right, fair enough. It's funny because it's cock. So I just briefly going to go lemon, honey, scotch cocktail. What comes up? Oh, penicillin, of course. That's a very okay. Penicillin. What's in a penicillin? Ginger. I'm not going to put any ginger in. So scotch, lemon. So I'm thinking about honey liqueur and limoncello. Should I put some whiskey in it as well? Some straight whiskey? I don't know. Yes, Chris. Yeah, it's all about the cock, as I say. Okay, hot toddy, penicillin. Okay, so it thinks I want to make a penicillin, but here we go. Whiskey and honey cocktails. Whiskey and, okay, 10 best whiskey lemon honey. Okay, now we're fucking rocking. So we say hot toddy. Whiskey, honey, lemon. Yeah. Okay. Whiskey, honey cocktails. Yeah, penicillin, a gold rush, which is whiskey and honey and lemon. Yeah. Hot toddy. Okay. Old fashioned hot toddy. Fuck off. Website's trying to get me to sign in. All right. I don't fucking like that website at all. Okay. I think I should do... Okay, I should do whiskey as well. I'm going to do whiskey and the liqueur and limoncello. Oh, that was actually pretty good. So what was the Millennium cocktail? Oh, the cognac. Blue and curacao, pineapple. And a dash of bitters would actually be good as well. Yeah, I can see myself trying that one as well. Oh, well. Oh, who was paying attention to the Katie Hopkins bullshit in Australia? If anyone doesn't know who Katie Hopkins is, she's a horrible racist sack of shit who's been dropped from every fucking media outlet in the world because of her hideous racism. And Channel 7 fucking paid for her to come out to Australia. And the first thing she does is post this stupid fucking video saying she's not going to obey the quarantine rules in the hospital. And it took 24 hours for her to get dropped. But it's contemptible that they ever brought her out. Like, everyone involved in the decision should be fired. Fuck them. Well, that's a much lighter and brighter story, Abigail. The cast for Star Trek Lower Decks did a panel at Comic-Con recently. One of the performers was wearing a T-shirt with a meme from Star Trek shitposting. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Oh, by the way, Mega Leech, this is ice from the semi-successful experiment with insulated lunchbox, as per your suggestion. What I need to have more success is I need a deeper one. Like, this is too shallow. I need one that's ideally about twice the depth. It doesn't even have to be this wide. It just has to be twice the depth to get a good result. Because the bubbles start forming in the ice too soon, basically. I don't get very much clear ice. But the principle of it worked. Yeah, I can see I just need deeper container. So I am on a quest to find a squarish or rectangular insulated container that's a bit deeper. I thought I found it. There was some with insulated cups and the coffee cups, and the exterior was square. And I thought that could be it, but the interior was cylindrical, which would work, but I've already got things to make cylindrical ice. I don't need anything else to make cylindrical ice. I want something to make square-ish ice. And yes, I could carve the cylinders, and I've seen people do it. You get the right knife, could carve the cylinders to be a bit more cubic if I wanted that aesthetic. So I could do that. But, I mean, you can probably see the bubbles in that they're starting to form. I think that's the first bit I chopped off because it's a big, long bit of ice. I just chopped off a bit about that much. And it was kind of deliberately, it was the least good bit, actually. But, like I said, the principle works, but it needs deeper. Abigail, you found a video on YouTube about Agro's Cartoon Connection. Funny as fuck, Agro's pure old disgusting would be cancelled in a heartbeat now. Yes. I think I haven't watched it, but I think I've seen the thumbnail for the same video, picture of Agro. Like, this was an actual Australian kids' TV show. What was surreal is the guy who did the voice from Agro, he was on Brisbane radio for years, and he was on it as Agro, and clearly it was radio. So he didn't have to do a puppet. He was just doing the Agro voice all the time. Really weird. Hello, Celtic King. I am going to experiment with that whiskey cocktail. Put your fucking hands. I've been watching Bo Burnham videos today, and his songs. I'm going to use my Infinity whiskey. I need my jigger. We go over here. I'm just going to build this in the glass because I can't be fucked. Don't think. I might need bitters. Where's my Angus? Okay, good question. Is it up here? It is. My Angostura bitters is up here. Put your fucking hands. I still got these Bo Burnham songs stuck in my head. I wanted limoncello. Where did I put it? Here. It's almost gone, but I've got some more coming, so that's okay. Celtic King, you love Agro as much as you love AIDSy. Well, that's saying something. Okay, let's make this an equal parts cocktail. Oh no, 1.5 ounces. That's all the limoncello. These are great bottles, but I've already saved a couple of them. So I don't think I need to save this, although I'll save the stopper. I will save the stopper. Celtic King, AIDSy is okay as far as I know. Things are actually pretty shit, but So I'm going to put 1 ounce of this Infinity whiskey in. Put your fucking hands up. And the whiskey liqueur. Might even put 1.5 ounces of this in. All right. It's a sexy bottle, isn't it? I might keep that. Just, how many mils is it? 350 ml bottle, which is an interesting size. Fire Blend Dice. Hello. Abigail, you had a dream AIDSy called you on the phone. With AIDSy, middle of the night phone calls aren't necessarily imaginary because he tends to be quite bad at judging what time of day it is. His situational awareness can be a bit skewed. It's an interesting question, Celtic King. Do you remember the dream telephone conversation with AIDSy at all? Interesting idea. All right, so this is... I don't know why I'm drinking this Abigail. This is something that I thought might work for a sore throat. Don't remember the conversation. Oh, well. Oh, my God. That's actually really good. Oh, that's got a whole bunch of flavors going on. Oh, I actually like that. So my favorite sort of cocktails are ones that have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like it's not just one taste, which is why I tend to fuck off vodka cocktails because vodka brings nothing. Fireblend Dice had to switch to YouTube because you couldn't chat on Twitch. Oh, but everyone's on YouTube. So I probably had to put that setting on at one point because someone was being a troll on Twitch and I forgot to switch it back. Megaleech, a rating. Okay, I need to have another sip to come up with a rating. That's good. That's a solid 8. That's really good. And it tastes like something you'd make when you had a sore throat. It's got honey and lemon and that whiskey sort of fiber in it. Actually, I didn't even know it was set Fire Blend Dice. I'm going to try and change it. And I spend so little time on Twitch. Let me have a look. Show moderation, show mods, deleted messages, chat appearance, pause chat, pop out chat, manage moderation settings. So I'm trying to find it. Pause chat, pop out chat. Here we go. Followers only chat 1 week. I finally found it. 10 minutes. There we go. Thank you very much for filling me in on that, Fire Blend Ice. Oh, Fire Blend Ice, you're a cocktail aficionado. You like complex stuff like Last Word. Yes. So it's like the clarified one I was drinking earlier was a fantastic emerald color and was really sweet. Like it was nice, but it was one note. There's not a lot going on. Whereas this, you go, are you getting the lemon and sort of the honey notes from this whiskey liqueur, and then really nice subtle whiskey notes from my own whiskey blend here. Yeah, that is a solid 8. That's really fucking nice, actually. I could experiment with it a bit, I think. Like I make it again. I'm not tonight, but I could experiment again with less limoncello, I think. As far as Last Word. Oh, yeah. Last Word is a popular template. It's 4 equal parts cocktail. And your traditional one is, they're like 3/4 of an ounce each, 22 mils each. Gin, maraschino liqueur, green chartreuse, and lime juice. And And a lot of people play what they call Mr. Potato Head, because it's like when you take a part off Potato Head and put another part on, with that concept of a 4 equal part cocktail, and you unplug one and plug something else in. Nice. Fireblend Ice, hobby mixologist, 7 year. I've only been serious about exploring cocktails for 2-3 years. 3 years probably. Prior to that, I was like flavoring spirits and coming up with drinks, but I wasn't that serious about it. Started to get serious about it about 3 years ago. And again, just as a hobby. It's not my job. It's a hobby. Recreational mixing. Nice. Oh my God. Fireblend Ice. You have to meet Kirsten. I've got about 100 bottles. You've got 250. I think Kirsten has more than that. She actually works in the trade. She works for a distiller. And she's particularly fixated on gin. Nice. Yeah, 7 years. That's a good body of stuff to have built up over 7 years. In the last year, I've probably doubled the number of bottles in the last year. Obviously, I've drunk some of them. I replace them as I drink them, or I come up with new ones as I finish one. So I basically got Ruka-san, is this sick shirt? Well, it's talking cocktails. I don't know if anyone's noticed. Look, I'm going to bring it a bit closer. It's a black cat mixing and drinking cocktails. So, yes. Mixing black cat mixing and drinking cocktails. This is another one of my lockdown purchases. I've been getting into these retro pseudo-Hawaiian shirts that have been advertised all over the place. And I don't know, I've got a dozen or more of them. Very sort of camp 50s, 60s designs. Fireblend Dice have been getting new rums. I got about a dozen gins, a dozen whiskeys, a dozen rums, one tequila. Not really into tequila. One mezcal, bunch of liqueurs. Oh yeah, I know. I specifically. First, I was just getting these ones because I love the funky designs. And then they started bringing out cocktail-themed ones. I got like 6 or 8 cocktail-themed shirts now. And they keep advertising more to me. And it's really tempting to get more. But I've got a lot of them now. Although what I was actually thinking is I think they're advertising for the Northern Hemisphere summer. And I'm thinking, if I bide my time and don't buy any more, these warehouses in China are going to have all these fucking shirts, and they will maybe go on sale, and then I won't feel bad about buying even more cocktail shirts because they'll be on sale. So that's my plan. Pablo, you like tequila and mezcal as long as it's high quality? Yeah, I've got one good quality tequila and one good quality mezcal. I mean, not top of the line. It's like Espolon, and some people might poo-poo it, but it's pretty good. I got a Reposado tequila from Espolon, and my mezcal has worms in it. I haven't been game to eat the worms yet. Been thinking of making AIDS eat them. Ruka-san, I'm doing fairly well, man. How's life treating you in Plague Town? This is really good. I mean, it's got liqueurs in it, so of course it's sweet. But you'd swear I put sugar syrup in it. It's so sweet. Probably a shot of bitters, actually. I'll just do it now. A little bit of bitters. It's also made the color a bit richer. So bitters is a good idea. If I make this again, I'll probably use less limoncello and a couple of dashes of bitters. Fireblend, the worm scorpion is gimmick. Of course it is. Yes. But this is This mezcal I've got is it's pretty good. I used to describe it as like drinking from an ashtray, but nice. Now I think a more polite description is it's like barbecue smoke. It's like smoked meats in a drink. It's good. You're still plaguey. Off work for 2 weeks, man. I know, and it fucking sucks. I've just been so outrageously, stupidly lucky in that I've been working from home for, was it 15, 16 months now? Just outrageously lucky. And so many people aren't. And I know it sucks. But there's not really a choice. You get these fucking idiots who say they act like it's a choice between, oh, having lockdowns and businesses going broke, or, just opening businesses and everything. And it's like, no, we've seen around the world, if you don't have restrictions, cases spiral and deaths spiral out of control, and you have to shut down anyway because no one's going to tolerate the health system collapsing. And fuck it. Oh, Fire Blend Ice, your Twitch name is Loriander. You can chat on Twitch. I will see. I wish I'm using a restream service called StreamYard. The one feature I wish they would introduce is that the chat would appear on screen, so everybody would see it. But I see it all. You always go by Loriander. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Rickson, I've been working from home. Like my work desk is literally just back there. Now, you're talking about day drinking? Apart from possibly the weekends, I've actually avoided it. And that's no mean feat. There's my drinks cart. My work desk is just there. I've been right next to my drinks cart for 16 months, and I've not had a single drink during the day. Which is bizarre because if I'd been working from the city, I would have had lunches with people at some point where I had a drink with lunch. But because I'm sitting here next to all of that, I make a conscious choice to not have a drink. And yeah, it's just, no one would know, but I would. So yeah. So Justin went to the, oh no. Oh, what that means is too much information, by the way, Justin. You went to the gym and have diarrhea. What does that mean? Lorraine, so you're a nurse from Denmark. It's 12:37. That's like AM, just past midnight, is it? Or is that PM? It's 8:37 PM on Sunday here. Oh, Jesus. Bringing up fucking COVID cases if you're a nurse. Hats off to you, everyone working frontline health. Oh, man. Such a tough year. Such a tough fucking year. Okay, so it's just past noon. Okay, good. I am not very good with world time zones, so I always have to ask. Yeah, but oh my God. Frontline health services for the last 18 months. Holy shit. Just so fucked over by circumstance. So big hat tip to everyone working in health services. Yes, Megaleech, I think that's the summary for Justin. Exercise gives you the shits. There's the thing, because we were talking about tequila. This is actually basically a clarified tequila version of a Godfather. So Mexican, that would be Il Padrino, which I made for my channel. Nice urine sample color. This person's reasonably well hydrated. They could possibly stand with being a bit more hydrated. So you work night shift in a nursing home, COVID indoor around December, January. Oh Christ, nursing homes got hit really hard here in Australia. Recent guys running had a heart attack. True story, man. Douglas Adams died in a gym, which was a tragedy. He of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fame. It all just goes to show: don't exercise; it kills you. You lost around 10, Loriander. Yeah, we had, because it's been largely under control in Australia. The most out of control it got so far, Sydney's giving this a run for its money at the moment, but the most out of control it got so far in Australia was literally this time last year in Melbourne. We went into a lockdown and we didn't know how long it was going to take. And shit got real, and we ended up with a really strict lockdown with a curfew and all this shit. It's like 800 people died. Most of them were in nursing homes, which really sucked. Now, currently, Lorianda, it's the Delta variant. The Delta variant is hitting Sydney hard, and it spread to where I am in Melbourne. And we're in lockdown at the moment, hopefully only for a couple more days. But we'll see. Sydney is up shit creek, basically. Okay, we are now all just oversharing in the shower, in the gym stories. Abigail went to the gym, made you horny as fuck. Had to rub one out in the showers afterwards. Yes, yeah, and I love that saying too, Rukusan. All the bodies on Mount Everest were once incredibly motivated people. So don't forget. And hello, Safa, by the way. Yeah, the lockdown for Victoria was obviously the right thing to do. It's just a question of how long it's going to take to bring it down, because it's not coming down at the moment, but maybe it will. Who knows? Jim, that's why people love to tell others about their workout sessions. I don't know. We've been getting a bunch of too much information stories tonight. So, yeah, too much information is just enough. So, okay, that was fucking good. I don't know what I'd call that. It was, I mean, technically, I get to name that because I just made it up. But it's whiskey, liqueur, and limoncello and bitters. The remedy, I don't know. Yeah, the remedy, maybe. Lorianda, you haven't done too much information yet. I don't know if you're going to come up with a gym story as well, but yes. Safa, yes. If in New South Wales they had done a 5-day hard lockdown when everyone said they should, which was 3-4 days before they imposed any sort of restrictions, which were just completely half-assed and stupid. It's fucking insultingly stupid what they've been doing in New South Wales. Nice, Justin. Canberra still COVID-free. Tassie is too, I think. South Australia's having a bit of a hiccup. Queensland might have things under control. I think West Australia is COVID-free. Not sure. And I think the Northern Territory might be again as well. Yeah, Rugerson, fucking Gladys, Jesus. Just being it. Look, it. What we've seen is it is not helpful to try and constantly view COVID through a political lens and just go like, the political party I like does it good, the political party I hate does it bad, because there's been fuck ups all around. But it's impossible to escape the fact that what's happened in New South Wales has absolutely been driven by conservative ideology rather than making the rational choice. Fisher Payne, you want to play the too much information game as well? God damn. Lorianda, I bet you have a rough story from times as a nurse. I had an ex-girlfriend who was a nurse, and it was a guaranteed thing. If you went out with nurses, they'd all just try and one-up each other with gross stories. So I have heard super gross and disturbing stories from my time with nurses. Ooh, I didn't know that, Safa. The ACT is letting 30 to 39-year-olds get Pfizer. Oh, well, I've got 3 more weeks till I get my second AstraZeneca. Things would have to change radically in Melbourne for me to get it sooner. I think I'll be okay waiting another 3 weeks. Abigail's on board with gross stories, and hello, Stella. Trying to decide. I'm gonna have a bit of this. I won't drink it all because there's a few shots of tequila in there. But I want a proper taste of this one, and I'll save some for another night. Right. Stir, stir, stir. Get it chilled. Oh shit, Loriander, you work a wound unit. God damn. Oh no. Oh, and by the way, anyone who doesn't know, Loriander, who I'm replying to, is chatting from Twitch at the moment. But yeah, they're a nurse in. You said where you were, somewhere in Scandinavia. I'm trying to remember. Was it Denmark? I'm scrolling back through the. Yes, Denmark. I fucking got it right. Go me. Go me. Thank you for prompting me as well, Loriander. Yeah, so a nurse in Denmark, working wound unit, you are absolutely going to have stories. Just on top of Germany. Okay, near the border. Okay. I'd love to travel that part of the world. I never have. Closest I got was England. Not really been to continental Europe. I'd really like to. Not for the next couple of years, I guess. We'll see what happens. Oh, well, that's good. Fucking hell. Okay, so this is a clarified drink, and it's tequila, a sort of nutty liqueur, and a bit of sugar syrup. Well, actually, it's agave. I put agave syrup in. Yes, Loranda, I would absolutely fucking love to visit Europe. I almost got to do it a couple of years ago, but yeah. Rukusan, I'm using a restream service called StreamYard, and it doesn't have the function of putting the chat on the screen for everyone to see. What did I put in this? This is like a tequila version of a Godfather, which is a Godfather is an old fashioned with amaretto. So this is tequila, bitters, agave syrup, and a nutty liqueur. It's actually an Australian liqueur based on wattle seed, but you could do it with amaretto. So because it's a Mexican Godfather, it's called Il Padrino, and then I milk clarified it, which is why it's a very light color, because it was made with a Reposado tequila. It's really good. It tastes really different to the non-clarified version. The non-clarified version was very good as well, but in a different way. So if you got the video chat with Grandma today, nice. Rukusan, OBS is difficult. OBS is annoying and clunky, and I tried to fuck with it for a while, and I got the shits with it. Whereas StreamYard is mind-blowingly easy. I just thought of something. Chrome tab. What happens if I do this? Oh, look, we got the friggin' Twilight Zone. Put your friggin' hands up. See, now you can see the chat, and I'm just this little thing. So that's less than perfect. But we got that sort of endless Twilight Zone happening. Yeah, well, see, Abigail, that was going to be the next tech support I got from you was learning how to use OBS. Yes, so Loriander, Frangelico is another one you could use. Frangelico is a hazelnut liqueur. So you could use an amaretto, which is almond liqueur. You could use Frangelico or another hazelnut liqueur. There are a few good macadamia nut liqueurs on the market. And I used a special Australian one. I got these sample bottles from a local distillery. This is acacia wattle seed liqueur, which has, so that's Australian bush food. and it has very nutty overtones. It's very nice, basically. So so a Godfather is just an old fashioned with a nut liqueur, usually amaretto, but I improvised. You're right, actually. Loriander maraschino has a little nutty flavor because it has the cherry stone in there. Like, it actually doesn't taste that much like cherry. So I've got both a maraschino liqueur and an actual cherry liqueur for different flavors. But yeah, maraschino in an old fashioned would be a good riff. Ruka said Abigail. No, it is Abigail who occasionally comes over and is in the streams. And we did one to celebrate Abigail's birthday at her place a couple of weeks ago. So, okay. Man, this clarified tequila Godfather is really quite good. But I think, given tomorrow's a work day, I'm gonna stop drinking alcohol now. I'll be good. I'll just drink water. I'm just gonna finish this one, and I'll save this. Now I know how good this is. I'll save it for another night. But it's very good. Lorena, do I prefer a stronger type of cocktail, like an old-fashioned Sazerac martini? Yes, I do. I have developed a taste for really boozy cocktails. I like variety. And Luke, you're right. When we do Angry Bunch, I just let anyone who wants to join. Yes, Lorena, I've developed quite a taste for the boozy cocktails. I love doing riffs on an old-fashioned or a Sazerac. I love a martini. I made one the other night, a really strong martini with overproof gin in it. And I put like 2.5 shots of overproof gin in. And then I had my absinthe flavored vermouth. And that was good. I fucking love a martini, actually. But yes, I do like the boozy cocktails. One I found recently that became one of my new favorites, and Mrs. Angry likes it too, called a Woodson and Ford. It's named after a bar in New York that doesn't exist anymore. I was on the wrong website to find it, and it's apple brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedictine, and bitters. It's fucking glorious. It is such a good cocktail. It's like 9+ out of 10. Lorraine, you can always drink a whiskey sour. I love sours. Sours are great. This is one I made on Friday night's stream to be a video that goes up on my channel this coming week on YouTube, my cocktail channel. I made an absinthe sour as an experiment, and I was thoroughly prepared for it to be difficult to drink, but it was really good. It was like 1 ounce absinthe, 1 ounce green chartreuse, lemon juice and sugar syrup, and a foaming agent. Shaky. Oh my god, it was really good. I thought I would be okay, but it was really. Oh yes, an Amaro sour is also good. I agree with you. Basically, the sour profile works with so many things. Your base, citrus, sugar syrup, and something to make it foamy. I've even made, I don't know if you've, this is a pretty extreme one, the Trinidad sour. It's made with Angostura bitters. So you do basically 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of Angostura bitters in a sour, which sounds ridiculous, but is actually not bad. And in fact, as an experiment, I also made it with Peychaud's bitters, a Creole style bitters, the really red one. And I thought that was even better. I actually really liked a Peychaud's sour. Because I'd never seen anyone suggest it. I'd seen the Trinidad sour, and I'd never seen anyone suggest making it with Peychaud's. And I thought, Okay, no one says it, so it's probably going to be awful. And I made it, and it was actually good, like better than the Angostura one, at least to my taste. I had another one that's like a cousin to a Trinidad sour. It had a fun joke name, "You're not my real Trinidad," but that also had like an ounce and a half of Angostura bitters in it, and it was good. Ooh, Finette. Yes, that's the bartender's favorite, Loriander. And I do have Finette over there. A little bit of Finette in a cocktail is good. I like. It's a big thing with bartenders. They'll do a Finette sour or they'll do Finette shots or whatever because bartenders are fucking weird. But yeah, no, Finette is a pretty intense Amaro. It's almost got like cough medicine notes in it. It's got that really menthol thing in it. So I'm a fan of Finette as a modifier. Yes, that's the difference between us, Rukus, and I'm like, here's a milk clarified whiskey liqueur sour originated from Zimbabwe, and you're like, fucking raspberry craft beer, Mountain Dew. Yeah. I like simple things too, but like water. I'm gonna have some water now. Let's get some water. All right. I don't know why, but I suddenly thought of IKEA as a place that might have insulated lunch boxes. Look, Stella, you sent Abigail a Discord. Boo! Send it to me too. Sorry, that's being rude. I'm just being rude. But now I suddenly want to look at IKEA. But at the IKEA site. I am in control. Thank you, IKEA. Products, sale. Lunch box. Oh, wow. They've got a really weird dog face one. Wait, okay, if I just put insulated, what comes up if I put insulated up? All right. Smulfair, a lid for a mug. Undersoaker, an insulated travel mug. Ooh, for $9, it looks really big, like it'd make a really long. Like I got this one solely because it was so big. I could make a big thing of ice with it. But that's only $9, an insulated travel mug. Man, maybe I need to go to IKEA and get that. Okay, quickly look at this product. I'm not going to order a $9 product online because the shipping will cost more than that. Ooh, it's very hard to be sure if it would be suitable because it can't sort of come in at the top or it won't work. They have a black and a stain, and it kind of looks like it comes in at the top. So I'm definitely not going to order it online. But when we're not locked down, I might go to my nearest IKEA and check it out. Might have something. Oh. Visual pain. I actually do like the food at IKEA. Oh, Loriander, why am I angry Aussie when I don't seem very angry? Because this is just chatting. For about 15 years on YouTube, I made videos where I would just shout and swear about topics of the day. But COVID kind of took the wind out of it. And I didn't want to do it anymore. And so I just do these really casual hangs on live streams. That's all I do now. Ruki-san, you think I should get the dog lunch box? I'll show it to you, actually. Yes, I know I'm not allowed, Stella. You're being all, as Megaleech says, you're being all spicy. Okay, I'm now I just feel compelled to show you the dog lunchbox. I do is where is my share screen? It's called Smaska, which is a pretty good name as well. So that's the dog lunchbox, which I'm kind of tempted to do, but yeah, that was the dog lunchbox. Lorianda, yes, my angry rants were politics. I'm sort of radical left wing. And so I did like 15 years of, they weren't all about politics, but a lot of them were about politics. And so I was just being angry for 15 years. Rukusan, I have not done pre-recorded video of any type for like a year. I did, since COVID, I did about 2. And the last one was about Pete Evans, a fuckwit influencer who is always trying to scam people with fake health cures. Actually, when he outed himself to actually be a fucking Nazi, and I mean that literally, he was using Nazi symbology in social media posts. He's a fucking piece of shit. Lorianda, that's a bit of both. I did use YouTube to vent my frustration and also to find like-minded people. Like I started in the very early days, about a year after the YouTube site existed. And there was a period like 10 years ago when I had somewhat of a following. And, there was some sort of potential that I could have turned it into a full-time gig. But my timing and my application have been very bad. So I just stick with my day job now because I'll never make more from YouTube than I do from my day job. I'd have to literally be in the top 1% of the top 1% of YouTubers, and that's never going to happen. And also because I like to swear a lot, and YouTube got all funny about monetizing and swearing. So I actually just demonetized my channel because I couldn't be fucked dealing with their bullshit. And so I kept making the videos for years just because they were fun. And yeah, and I don't know, at the start of COVID, I realized all I was doing was ranting about Trump and COVID. And I just thought, this feels fucked. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I've just been having these chill hangouts for the last year. Visual pain, yes. Laughing about me. I did have several videos screaming about fucking Nazis. Yeah. So, yeah, now I just do these, do chill hangouts. Oh, Lorianda, actually, go to my channel page, and I actually did a playlist of the angriest ones and the most popular ones. There will be a convenient playlist for you on my on the Angry Aussie channel page, where you can see me going right off and thing. Also, you'll notice the other thing COVID did to me, apart from just wanting to have these hangout sessions, is I stopped cutting and dyeing my hair. So if you go back 18 months, I have short, dark hair. And the dark was a lie. I've been dyeing my hair for, I don't know, 15 years or more. And no, probably 20 years, honestly. I forget how old I am sometimes. I've been dyeing my hair for well over 20 years, close to 30 years. Like I dyed my hair when I wasn't gray or anything. I just liked to dye my hair jet black when I was younger. My natural hair color is quite dark. Well, okay, it used to be. This is my natural hair color now, the old salt and pepper. But I used to dye my hair like blue black because I like that. And over the years, I played with a few colors and whatnot. But yeah, if you go back even just 18 months, I have short, dark hair because I was cutting my hair. I had my hair short for 30 years, 40 years, I don't know, for a long time. And I was dyeing it. And then I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. Just let it hang out. So I have had haircuts because my hair would be longer than this if I hadn't had haircuts in the last year. But I've been growing it and I've just had 2 haircuts to keep it healthy. So I am actually just growing my hair and just going grey at the moment. You love the Fishfield Pain. You love the inflection in my voice when I say fucking Nazis. And yes, you're right, Luke. The webcam made my hair look red sometimes too. Stella, Abigail and you are brewing up some excellent shenanigans. I'm allowed to know that. Oh, such a tease. Such a tease. I love it. I love it. So yes, if you think I'm a chill Aussie instead of angry Aussie, maybe. Yeah, it's just every now and then I think of doing it again. Like I think of video ideas all the time, like this Katie Holmes bullshit I want to go right off about. But it's got to the stage where I realize doing the angry stuff offers me no benefit, and there's potential downside from an employment point of view. So there's no gain to me in doing it. Oh, okay. Loriander wants a close-up look at the bar. I'll do a quick one. Because why not? How far will the webcam go? That far. Okay. I'll turn this light on. All right. So that's the spirits one. That's the spirits. So that's cachaça, which is like a Brazilian pseudo rum. I've got rum agricole. I've got a bunch of rums, a bunch of Australian whiskies. Down here is some more rums and gins. Again, in terms of gins and whiskies, they're pretty much all Australian. I've got some Irish whiskey, and I do have one American bourbon. The rums tend to come from all over the world, including Australia. And this is the liqueurs. So there's a lot of liqueurs in there. A lot of them are Australian from independent distillers as well. But a lot of international ones in there as well. Liquor 43 from Spain, Chartreuse from France, Aperol from Italy. I've got a few French, a few Italian. Oh, this is a nice one. Ancho Reyes. That's a chili liqueur. A little bit of that goes a long way. So that's as close as I can get. But that's the drink carts. So we'll turn that off, and I'll come back over here. All right. My floppy hair went everywhere while I was doing that. See, it looks like a fucking comb over. It's ridiculous. Oh, you got both of the chili one, Loriander. Yeah, I got the green. It tends to last a long time. I just use it occasionally because I'm a bit wussy with spices. Nettie, hello. Loriander, I don't have Mr. Black because I freaking hate... Actually, I do have Mr. Black because I had some for a competition, and I made a clarified mochaccino with it. I still have some Mr. Black. I don't like coffee, though, which is why I still have it. And yes, I had plantation pineapple. I've got a few good rums, honestly. And yeah, Rukusan, the angry stuff feels forced. I could do it very easily. I just don't want to. And yes, Nettie, she's Katie Holmes, the pommy Nazi woman. She's a hideous, gross, racist person. So yeah, she's terrible. And everyone at Channel 7 is fucking terrible. So I actually have still in my fridge, because I played with the recipe a couple of times. There was this competition to make a cocktail with Mr. Black. And I did this, it was like with dark creme de cacao, and whatnot. And then I milk clarified it. So it was like a milk clarified mochaccino. It's still in the fridge for when someone visits me who likes coffee. Oh yeah, my vermouths and whatnot are in the fridge. I've got half a dozen sort of wine, like sherry and vermouth things, and I've got 3 or 4 cream liqueurs in the fridge as well. So if it's a good question, what's the worst free-to-air channel in Australia? I literally never, and I mean never, might sound like I'm trying to be a hipster, but I literally never watch 7, 9, or 10. I just do not watch them. I watch the ABC most, and I don't watch that much ABC, and I watch SBS sometimes. But otherwise, it's the streaming services. So, yeah. But yeah, I know it makes me sound like I'm trying to be a hipster. I don't watch commercial TV. I'm above that. I don't watch commercial TV, but I literally don't. I mean at all. I just don't watch them. So I'm always on YouTube or one of the streaming services. And just in case anyone thinks I'm trying to make myself sound like an intellectual, I watch a fuck ton of lowbrow stuff on the streaming services and YouTube. Roxanne, you feel attacked? You're the same as me. I mean, yeah, it's just there's nothing to entice me to watch those commercial channels. It's ridiculous. Loriander, I did a bunch of COVID rants in the early stages of COVID, and then I was just like, yeah, this doesn't feel good, and I stopped. So for how much Foxtel do I watch? A fair bit. The like drama and comedy and whatnot. Oh my god, Mr. In Between, which just finished season 3. That is a fucking great show. Australian crime show. The central character is like an enforcer, hitman type guy. For he does jobs for bigger crims, I guess. There's now 3 seasons of it. And I think it's available on a couple streaming services. So honestly, I say Foxtel's probably not worth it. I've just still got it out of force of habit. Yes, Luke, Rukashan, you should absolutely just hang out shit talking on the live stream. Definitely. Lorianne, do you think if you're unsatisfied with how they're handling it's new to them and they're doing the best they can? That is a very noble and positive outlook, and I applaud you for it. Our federal governments suck balls. The state governments did an exceptional job in controlling the spread of COVID. The federal government, who declared they had responsibility for border control and vaccine rollout, categorically, comprehensively failed on both. State governments did great work in controlling the spread of COVID, because we've got apart from we're having an outbreak at the moment, prior to this outbreak, we have extended periods with almost no COVID in circulation, but the federal government fucking sucks. I think you can get all 3 seasons of Mr. In Between on binge now, actually. It's really good. You'll swear, the guy who's the lead in it, it's the only thing he's ever done, and you watch it, and he created and writes the scripts, and he's the lead actor, and you go, how the fuck is this guy not in anything else? What the fuck? This guy's amazing. It's a very, very weird story you can find online as to why it isn't, but Mr. In Between is a fucking great show. And like, no spoilers, but the final episode of season 3, the fucking tension that was rising in me in the final scene, because it was like the way they'd set the show up was like anything could happen, and shit was gearing up for something bad to happen, and just the tension I felt sitting there watching it was like, it is a very good show, very good show. Loriander, I heard about that with the mink farm in Denmark. as a bit of a fuck up, somehow spreading the disease. Yes, I heard that. Fish real pain. All you want to know about Married at First Sight, you can glean from watching Friendly Geordies. I can glean all I want to know about that without watching Friendly Geordies, because what I want to know about it is nothing. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm missing out on a bunch of good content, because so much just exceptional quality is being produced at the moment. You can't keep up with it. I just remembered today I had stopped watching Narcos, which was a great show from a couple of years ago. I only got like halfway through season 1. I was just flicking through Netflix and went, oh, that's right, I was watching Narcos at one point. So I watched an episode of Narcos today when I was just lounging around. I was like, oh yeah, this show's really good. So yeah. Oh, Stella, I'm with you. Hating maths so much, don't even watch Geordie's recaps on it. It's just, you know, you do you, but no, it's just not for me. Not for me. I mean, what have I been watching on YouTube recently? You kind of watch one thing and YouTube recommends a bunch. I was watching the old Crash Course stuff and SciShow, the educational stuff that the Vlog Brothers, Hank and John Green, started years ago. And I was watching in the last week, I've actually watched a bunch of the philosophy primers that these are like 4 or 5 years old. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, they were doing philosophy videos for Crash Course. And they're really entertaining and informative, like between 5 and 10 minutes of literally giving you a crash course in this is what this school of philosophy means. And yeah, it's very good. Fish, yes, I know he did that one on the water, which is a clusterfuck, and more people need to know how bad it is. Five Blend Dice, is there any Aussies? And why do Australians love to swear so much? I do not know. It's a part of our culture. And unless Chris is still here, he's from the northern United States, I think everyone in the chat is an Aussie, actually. I haven't seen a non-Aussie pop up in the chat for a while. But we do, again, the time is a bit weird. We do occasionally get people from the Northern Hemisphere. And humorously, with a lot of people, because it's Chris is still here. Yeah, so it's always the question, are you up early or are you an insomniac? I think, Chris, your answer was you're an insomniac. I know, Rukus-san. It is just force of habit. I mean, yeah, Laura's from the UK, but I don't think Laura's in the chat at the moment, Annette. We do get people from the UK. We get people from Canada and the US, and occasionally through Europe as well. And but yeah, it varies. A lot of the people tend to be from Australia. So yeah. So you were watching, you're staying at your dad's place. Oh, maths, his missus loves it. Wanted to slash your wrists listening to Emmagerd voices. Oh, yeah, Nettie, yeah, generally, we definitely, we get people from the UK, from the US, from Canada, and bits of Europe. But this very moment, I think the only people outside Australia in the chat are Chris and Fireblend Dice, US and Denmark, respectively. So, oh my God, it's only 9:19, and I think I definitely have to resist drinking more booze. I'll drink a little bit more water. I don't drink too much because then I'll wake up at 4 in the morning having to take a leak. So I will just have some more water though. Keep my throat lubricated. A little bit chilled. What? Yes, Fireblend Ice. I know you're Loriander. Yes, but yeah, other people in the chat might not know that. That's true. So, Chris, in the winter, I come on at 1 a.m. Summer, it's 3 a.m. First night, it's out of Friday. You've made it past the first hour. Keep on soldiering on, Chris. That's the thing. Yeah, it's a while before the times change again, I think. Oh, nice, Rukusan. The YouTube algorithm has told you India digs the band's EP. I remember one of my videos, and this is like from a long time ago, more than 10 years ago. I think I was talking about porn, and it got this huge surge in views. And so I looked at the algorithm and said, well, who's watching this? And all the views were coming from India. So apparently they're all dirty little devils. My video was coming up as a related video on some really popular Bollywood videos, which was hilarious. Oh, there you go. Now you got the screen name Loriander on YouTube as well. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So I think I can stop looking at cocktails now because I'm not going to make any more. Tempting. I mean, it's really tempting. Like, yeah, as I said, I'm a super bad advertisement for sobriety because it's more fun. New South Wales reports 4th death of this outbreak. Frightening reason Australia won't be able to go back to normal. What's this bullshit? Emergence of Delta, rapid spread of cases. Queensland extended its mask rules. We don't like lockdowns. Outbreaks grown. Yes, yes, yes. Hard to get on top of Delta. Spreads really fast. Yes. Yes, the let it rip people, all they need to do is look at India if you want to see what let it rip. Like literally taking no actions whatsoever in Australia would, in 6 months, because our vaccination rate is so shit, we would have in 6 months we could easily have millions of cases and tens of thousands of deaths. It's just stupid fucking bullshit. So yes, we're going to keep having restrictions until we're vaccinated or we get decent. That's, yeah, okay, like that's the bleeding obvious. Yes, without proper quarantine and vaccination, we're going to be fucked. Loriander, I could do a mocktail. I have some good non-alcoholic components. I'm literally just going to drink water though. Yeah, I could just do something with vermouth and whatnot, but I'm just doing water. Yes, Ricky saying you got to thank the horny legends in India for earning you 5 cents streaming the EP. Nice. Now, do I get the feeling that they've only just realized how contagious Delta is? There's been masses of denial, particularly from the right-wing death cult in Australia, about how fucked we would be with Delta and other COVID variants. But yeah, if these fucking lunatics, and you can't do it because if you go, oh, we're not going to have any restrictions, and then the cases go from hundreds a day to thousands a day, and the deaths go from tens a day to hundreds a day. No one's going to put up with that. And then you have to put in strict lockdowns anyway. And you've suffered horribly before doing the lockdowns. Nobody, g'day, mate. Loriander, what percent of the country has received first shot? Might be up to about 20% by now. Let me look it up, actually. Australian vaccination rate. Fuck the government. So at least one dose, fully vaccinated. We've got... Okay, we're now up to 28% of the population have at least one dose, which is shithouse, and only 10% of the population are fully vaccinated. But the rates are going up a bit, but the government's been really shit at getting enough vaccine and promoting it properly. So yeah, so 28% of the population have had one dose, 10% of the population are fully vaccinated. 3 weeks, I'll be fully vaccinated. Yeah, Ruki-san, those fuckwits who talk about learn to live with the virus. It's like there is no doubt whatsoever. We see it in multiple countries around the world. Learning to live with the virus, if you just decided learn to live with the virus, that means millions of cases, hundreds of thousands of people hospitalized, tens of thousands of people dying. And it's just fucking bullshit. Nobody, you sum it up exactly. You get the right-wing death cult complaining about the cost of taking action, but they resolutely refuse to acknowledge the cost of inaction. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Nettie, a lot of people in Sydney are bringing forward the second dose. If we had the level of outbreak here in Melbourne that they have in Sydney, I would be doing everything possible to get my second dose as soon as possible. But because all the studies suggest that 12-week gap with AstraZeneca gets the maximum efficacy from the second dose, I am at this point happy to wait 3 more weeks. So, yes, Rickson, I agree. Next one who says live with the virus, pop in the snout. But yeah, it's ridiculous that, again, I just think it's completely legitimate to call them the right-wing death cult, because they repeatedly and openly say people dying is something we should just accept. And it's just like, no, but the volume of people that would die, we know it would be, in Australia, unchecked, would be minimum tens of thousands of people would die. And it's unnecessary. We know it's unnecessary. And the eventual cost to the economy would be worse than not letting the virus run wild. Yeah, Nettie, I reckon we're right to wait a few more weeks, because I don't. It might take longer than this 5 days to get this little outbreak under control, but it's not going to spiral out like the Sydney one, because we're not fucking idiots. So I think I'm quite comfortable waiting 3 more weeks. Tuesday, 3 weeks from Tuesday, I'm going to get my second AstraZeneca. I'm fine with that. That's like, yeah, lockdowns hurt the economy. Yeah, exactly. Overrun hospitals, everyone homesick. And again, that's not even speculation. We know categorically, without a doubt, because of repeated bits of evidence from different countries around the world, letting the virus go unchecked hurts the economy way worse than doing lockdowns. And also, fuck these sniveling pieces of shit who want to put the economy over the lives of tens of thousands of people anyway. They're fucking reprehensible scum. And yes, Ruka saying, what even is the economy? We're people. We're not a fucking economy. We're fucking people. And yes, Nettie, that's another one. The long COVID, the complications from COVID, that somewhere between 10 and 20% of people who contract COVID, even if they never get hospitalized, they have long-term to possible permanent health complications from COVID. And the cost to the economy of that is ridiculous. So, Lorianda, you got COVID at the back end of the outbreak at the nursing home, which is not surprising. No symptoms, get the vaccine the day you got COVID. Oh, no. Got nervous with Pfizer, Moderna, avoid it for a month. Option to get the J&J. Oh, cool. You got a vaccine. So the combination of the fact you actually got COVID and then a vaccine is probably going to stand you in extremely good stead for any variants. And we are going to see a shit ton of variants in the coming years. Nettie, another good call. The trauma. This is why I always thought, like, you had these things about, well, we've got to protect older people, in particular, vulnerable. And you get these stories of people saying that they'd spoke to older people. Goes, oh, I don't, I want to see my family. I'd rather take the risk. Be exposed. It's like, okay, you're not the only. Even if those stories were true, old people saying, I'll die to see my family. Even if those stories were true and the media talking heads saying it were absolutely untrustworthy members of the right-wing death cult. But even if they were true, the old people aren't the only people in that equation. Because, again, if the virus goes unchecked, hundreds of thousands of people are getting sick. And also, could you imagine you're a kid and you're growing up and, your grandparents died, and you say to your parents later, how did grandma die? And he goes, oh, well, there was a global pandemic and we knew it was a risk, but we went and saw it anyway, and you gave her the disease that killed her. And, the kid's fucking carrying that forever. It's ridiculous. So, Chris, your good friend's mum and sister are still using inhalers after getting infected more than a year. And you're right. With a lot of people, the complications from COVID, there's lung disorders, there's heart disorders, there's blood disorders. And even just, for some people, it's just chronic fatigue, what they're calling long COVID. People essentially suffering chronic fatigue for 6 or 12 months minimum after being infected. But the more serious ones, which are probably permanent. And like I said, what we've seen is it's 10 to 20% of infected people have complications that dramatically affect their health for at least 6 or 12 months over. Oh, thanks, Safra. I'm doing a community service during lockdowns. Oh, it's been good to fucking hang out. And you're right. Nobody. The vastly reduced. It's a lot less than 2% chance of danger. Okay, there's a. What were the chances, based on the actual numbers, the chances of you getting a complication from a vaccine that means you need medical help is about 50,000 to 1. The risk of actually dying from the vaccine are about 1 in a million to 1 in 2 million. And you are vastly more likely to die in a car accident, though. You're more likely to be hit by lightning than that. People are so bad with risk assessment. Oh, God. Shieldsy, hello. In unlocked land. Your restrictions lifting, are they? Well, that's nice. And Nettie, yes, the more people who catch the virus, pass it on, the more chances of mutations. We are absolutely going to need vaccine boosters at least every year. Oh, yeah, Lorianda, you definitely keep not just with AstraZeneca, but with all of the vaccines, you keep an eye out for complications, because they do happen. Like I said, in 1 in 50,000 cases, there's a complication, which means you need medical help. So you need to keep an eye out for that. And yeah, it's about 1 in a million, 1 in 2 million people die. And there could be other contributing factors there as well. But yeah, you absolutely need to keep an eye out for the possible complications. Oh, Roxanne, yeah, the vaccine risk, the vaccine and autism. H Bomber Guy, the YouTuber, did a very good deconstruction of how that vaccine autism thing is not just not true. It was an actual deliberate fraud. It was a scam. It was a scam from the get-go. The doctor behind that was pulling a scam from the start. It wasn't bad science. It wasn't a mistake. He was deliberately pulling a scam from the start. It's really entertaining, Rukusen. It's depressing and frustrating, but the H Bomber Guy video about vaccines and autism, he's done all the research. And I mean, I knew the guy was a scammer because he, got disbarred and all that sort of thing. But yeah, all the anti-vaxxers have been around as long as vaccines have been around. But the vaccine autism thing really gave them a turbo boost in the last couple of decades. And the fact that that is all based on a deliberate scam is friggin' mind-blowing. But yeah, I refuse to waste time with anti-vaxxers, basically, because they're fucking idiots. And you cannot use logic and common sense on fucking idiots. You can't even use evidence. You can't use incontrovertible evidence on fuckwits. Loranda, you don't like the way Pfizer's designed. I'm not enough of an expert to really comment on that. But yeah, it's Oh, okay. The short version of the scam. I want to do the short version of the scam of this guy Wakefield who started the vaccines autism thing. Still, you're saying he specifically selected kids to get the results he wanted. He lied about the kids and results. But what it was, because you get the mRNA. What do we call it? You're basically getting multiple vaccines in one shot. For the measles thing. And he said he reckoned he found evidence that using the compound vaccine caused complications. And he was lying from the get-go. But that's it, the MMR. Thank you, Abigail and Stella. He said he wasn't, in the early days, he said he wasn't anti-vaccine, but that shouldn't be given as a compound vaccine. You should give individual vaccines. He was, in the meantime, trying to patent a single vaccine for the measles. So the entire thing was a deliberate lie and a scam to discredit the vaccine that was being used and to push people towards using this vaccine that he was trying to patent. So it was a deliberate lie, a deliberate scam, a deliberate fabrication to steer people into something that would make him money. Like, he is a reprehensible piece of garbage who's probably been personally, directly responsible for terrible health complications, including death, to tens of thousands of mostly children around the world, but also some adults, because the spread of previously completely contained diseases like measles is because of him. And it's his greed and his naked criminality is responsible for horrible health complications up to and including death for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of children. He's a fucking monster. He needs something real bad to happen to him. And yes, Ricochet, learning more facts, you're not going to get them from fucking Facebook pages, basically. My favorite one with this hippie anti-vax crowd is when they talk about big pharma. And yes, big pharmaceutical companies are evil as fuck. There's no two ways about that. But then they're going about, it's all about profit. They don't want to cure you. They want a treatment that you have to keep paying for. And it's like, fucking. And then they go to their fucking hippie, I don't even know what conventions is the wrong word, but it's like things where they all have stalls selling their fucking salt lamps and crystals and shit. And they've been gone about, big pharma just wants money. So you rock up to one of their stupid fucking hippie festivals and you go, everything here is free then. And they go, no, but you said wanting money is evil. And fucking Jesus, you fucking hypocritical hippie pieces of shit. Ugh. So fish feel pain speaking out against bile farming. Oh yeah, no, that's some fucked up shit. People with very, very stupid, not real beliefs about various animal byproducts that will cure shit, and they won't cure shit. And getting the animal products involves absolute hideous mistreatment of a whole spectrum of animals. So it's this double whammy of a cure that doesn't work, and getting that cure involved hideous cruelty. And it's just like, God damn. And yes, Megaleech, they are hypocritical hippies. It's just, they're so fucking full of shit. And yes, if I had Thanos like snap powers, I wouldn't just randomly do half of the population. I'd be very different. And anti-vaxxers and all those fuckwits, they'd have one chance, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, you go public with this, and I'm now omnipotent, and I know and control everything, and I know what you're saying is bullshit, and you're threatening people's lives. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to snap my fingers and you'll be fucking gone. Okay? Simple as that. So lucky I don't have godlike powers, or terrible things would happen to about, I reckon, a third of the planet's population, because everyone would start to calm the fuck down when they realized I was serious. And I reckon I'd take, probably about a third of the population before people pull their fucking heads in. And because I reckon a third of the population is dumb as shit, or just evil and fucked and stupid. Oh yeah, no, Nettie, I'd make them feel good. I do rapture. I would, rather than just make people turn into dust like Thanos, I'd give them a rapture. That'd be fun. I'd float them up into the air. Like, yeah, you're raptured. Guess what's going to happen when you leave the fucking atmosphere, dickhead? I know, Stella, I think off the top of my head, more than a third of the population could go. I just think the fringe troublemakers would pull their head in by the time I'd taken out a third of the population. I'd just go with the super fucking obvious ones first. You know, the warmongers and the terrorists and the exploiters and whatnot, they'd be gone. Then it's the oligarchs. It's just like, okay, this bullshit version of capitalism you have, like, no one in the supply chain can be exploited. No one can be in a scenario that's indiscernible from slavery, okay? Safa, you'll probably survive. No, but if you could delete people, there wouldn't be many of us left. Bar gets raised. Eventually, blow your own standard, need deleting. Oh, yeah, Rukazan. I like the idea, the Angry Imperium. I'll do that. Now, I just think I'd get to a certain point of, floating people off into the stratosphere before the other fuckwits realized, oh, no, he actually means it. It's like, hey, okay, you can be a dickhead. I'm not going to wipe out everyone I don't like, because that would be more than half the population. But you have to be a fuckwit who's hurting someone. And, so that's what I mean, like the warmongers and the terrorists and the rapists and probably a sizable chunk of the politicians around the world. Oh, Christ, Annette, Avocado Wolf. He'd get one warning. People like Avocado Wolf and Pete Evans and those charlatans and grifters, they get one warning. It's like, you shut the fuck up. Never say that bullshit again. Never say that bullshit again. You got one warning and one warning only. And straight after that, I'm rapturing you off into the fucking stratosphere. And I think he I think that Wolf Avocado and Pete Evans are too fucking stupid to calm down. Swillen Samurai, do I think there are oligarchs that are trying to depopulate us? No. I think we get some of the oligarchs say stupid things. Bill Gates springs to mind. I don't think Bill Gates is inherently evil, but I think he believes too much in his own cleverness, and he's got some real freaky sort of. I was trying to think of a word apart from racist, but racist seems about right. Uh, some of his ideas feel like they're bordering on eugenics, and he needs to calm the fuck down a bit. About wanting to depopulate countries with black and brown people. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, Stella, you do get people, and this is what Gates in particular says very ill-advised things, where he's basically talking about the black and brown people he talks about them overpopulating, which is bullshit. It's actually just the oligarchs controlling too much resources is the fucking problem. Okay. You feel like you're late to the party on Gates. This is another one of my semi-regular plugs for the Behind the Bastards podcast. He did one recently on Bill Gates where he highlighted weird, fucked up things Bill Gates does. It's kind of like I honestly, I don't think Gates is inherently evil, but I think Gates believes his own bullshit too much. I think, Estella, we both did Jinx on the Behind the Bastard podcast. Nobody in Gates' defense, he did predict the pandemic, didn't do it alone. Yeah, he said and done some fuck shit. No, and a lot of their medical things are clearly saving lives, but there's this weird thing of this worship of rich people and assuming they got rich because they're better than everyone else rather than they were supremely privileged and ruthless. And Gates falls into that big time. And Gates is very smart in a particular way. Ruka-san, Gates did not say that line about 64K of RAM's good enough for anybody. But there have been variants of that line misattributed to various people over the years. There was someone from IBM who absolutely in the 90s or 80s or 90s literally did not understand personal computers and said something really dumb about people not needing a computer in their home. But variants of that 64K of RAM thing have been misattributed to a bunch of people. Oh, yeah. No, you're right, Stella. All epidemiologists have been predicting pandemics for decades because of logic. And that's why when every other one got headed off, the swine flu and avian flu and the various ones got contained, you get all these fucking dickheads going, oh, what were they so worried about? Nothing ever happened. It's like, it's because they made this supreme effort and in many cases put their lives on the line to stop it. Ricky said, I am saying the startup screen for California Games was a lie. I think at best that line was Gates being misquoted, but I've seen variants of it attributed to so many different people. Everyone's been talking about we're going to have fucking a pandemic. Oh, what's been scaring me is the one saying like, oh, you think COVID's bad? Unless we like do away with particularly factory farming of chickens. Saw this interview with one epidemiologist, and their greatest fear was a variant of avian flu. It's just going, all these battery farms for chickens are going to kill us. They're going to kill us. We're going to get a flu variant that is as widespread as COVID, but has about a 10% mortality rate. And it's just going to fucking rip us apart. Fish, if I could make Gina Reinhardt float the fuck away, I would have done it a long time ago. She's pretty goddamn evil. I love that nobody remember having a 486 that had a luxurious 64 meg of RAM in a 486 is fucking astronomical. I think my 486 only had 4 meg of RAM, and I might have upgraded it to about 16. God damn, 64 meg of RAM in a 486 is mad. And a 200 megabyte drive. Tried to do a gigabyte drive BIOS crash. Yeah, you had for a gigabyte drive, you'd have to partition it because a 486 wouldn't have been able to handle a drive that big. Yes, Stella, we have largely failed the pandemic on easy mode. And hearing epidemiologists talking about, oh no, you think this is bad, I'm fucking freaking out, man. And they are particularly worried about the factory farms for all animals. Pigs are another big one that they're worried about, but they're most worried about chickens because there are millions and millions and millions of chickens in factory farms around the world, and they go, and those things are a fucking disease factory. And they really were. They're like, it's not if then when. Like, you know, we're 100 years between really bad pandemics. We might be seriously, we might be 100 years before the next really bad one. We might be 5 years before it might be next year. It's like we're playing Russian roulette with like 3 or 4 bullets in the chambers and just keep spinning and clicking and spinning. And, you know, one went off last year. And everyone's going, oh, well, it won't happen again. And, you know, it's just like every now and then we put an extra bullet in the chamber. That's me, missing metaphors. So, yeah. Yeah, Shieldsy, 32 meg back and then 32 gig now. I don't even remember. Abigail upgraded my PC recently. I've got some big fuck off amount of memory and RAM in the computer now. But I mean, the idea of yeah, fish pan. Let's just talk about weird animal genitalia. I'm going to go into hard drives. I love. I haven't watched the extra features on my Lord of the Rings discs for a while. I got like the limited edition box set. It's like I just got hours and hours of shit on it, which I love. But I do laugh because they used to get a new set of computers for every movie. They would upgrade every 2 years, and one bit they're proudly showing off this room full of servers, and it's like a room full of servers for processing the video that they're making, and this guy proudly saying how there's a terabyte of storage in this room, and that was astronomical. That was one of the biggest sort of individual server farms in the world at that point. A terabyte in this room. I've now got a hard drive that's this big and has 4 terabytes on it. These guys had an entire room and they were proudly boasting it was 1 terabyte in all these racks. I've got a 4 terabyte drive that's this fucking big, and it's just ridiculous. And it cost $100. That's the other thing. They were spending $1 million in the 90s on their computers to make the Lord of the Rings, and they filled a room, and my 4 terabyte drive cost $100. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So Abigail, never mix metaphors on an empty stomach with 2 birds in the hot kitchen. Good call. And still, you've had to explain coronavirus is not influenza in the last week. We're so fucked if the big one hits. Oh, yeah. Of course, the fun thing about all our coronavirus restrictions is no one had influenza either. Like last year, there were early signs we were going to have a really bad flu season. Then we did all the lockdowns and masks and social distancing. And it was like influenza cases were going, and poof. And then it was just like, no, we had no influenza. I didn't get a cold all last year. I did get one earlier this year, which I was very annoyed by. But I didn't get a cold all last year. I'm mad. Yes, Rick is saying wetter in the 90s. We have a full terabyte. Nerds in 2021 laughing in petabytes. Definitely. Megaleech, there's the NVMe SSD drives. Bought a 2 terabyte one and it's tiny. Yep. Palm of your hand. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But see, this one, my one, that's not even an expensive one. Like it's an external drive, 4 terabytes, only about $100. It's this big. It's ridiculous. Nobody laughed at the guy who had a 50 gigabyte, talking about a 50 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah, you can laugh at yeah. And there's photos from like the 60s of IBM loading this massive platter on a forklift onto a truck. And I think it's a 128 megabyte hard drive. And it's this huge thing that weighs a fucking ton that they have to move about with a forklift. It's just like technology is wild. So, Nitty, you ran out, got a flu vax for yourself, an older kid? Yes. I got a flu vax last year. I got a flu vax this year. I get a flu vax when I'm working somewhere that says, "Oh, we're doing flu vax. Do you want one?" And I go, "Yes, I want a flu vax." Get them for free. But I'll be getting them every year from now on because I reckon it'll be interesting to see next year. Is there a COVID booster separate to the flu vax, or are they going to mix it into the one so you get one flu vax that also has a COVID booster in it? Because we are going to need a COVID booster every year because it's not going away. Motherfucker's going to mutate. You're talking about when can you actually get a video card these days? Yeah. So Rick's saying, tech geeks, remember you didn't have to take out personal loan to buy a video card. Yeah, because there's fucking Bitcoin miners, cryptocurrency fuckheads. Evil. Oof, don't even want to get started on that bullshit. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully they'll all get scared. I haven't looked at the price, actually. I'm going to look it up. I haven't looked at the price. What's it doing at the moment? Bitcoin price. 43,000. All right. Someone predicting Bitcoin will go to 66,000, but that's just bullshit. Never said the word sell. Elon Musk boosts the price of Doge as Bitcoin and crypto lose billions. Geez, Forbes is fucking... I just want to see a chart. What's the chart been doing? Yeah, so a couple of months ago... Wait, what's this? Well, that's very different to the other one. Wait. Okay, I just want to see this. No, that's only July. I want to see a longer one. Oh, there we go. 1 year. Okay. So, yeah, it went huge at the start of this year. Like between January and April, it went huge. Got as high as 63,000 and then cratered to 34,000. So that's almost half. It lost almost half. But since April. So in 3 months, it dropped by half, which arguably makes now probably a good time to buy, but it was only $10,000 last October. $10,000 last October. The volatility, obviously, it could get much worse. Like it's dropped by half since April. So some people got what, particularly if people bought futures, people could have got wiped out. Yes, because China banning the crypto things. No, I'm not going longer than 10 p.m. Megaleech. I'm going to wrap it up. Yes. Still, the Black Plague killed a third of Europe, didn't it? Could you imagine that at a period in history where the majority of people absolutely believed in God and believed God was guiding the thing, that a third of the population died, that would be a fucking crisis of faith right there. You would have to think God had abandoned you. But yeah, apart from the trauma and all the death, of course, in the next century, the economy was amazing because there were so many fewer people, and it created the middle class, essentially. It's just, yeah, tens of millions of people died, if not 100 million people died, which is pretty fucking traumatic. But man, could you imagine that when just fucking everyone was dying? That's some terrifying shit right there. And of course, the bubonic plague is still around now. There's still animals that carry it, people who catch it because animals bite them. But we have treatment for it. Hurrah! Medicine and science. We can actually treat the bubonic plague now. But yes. Good night, everyone. It is time to go. It's 10 o'clock. I got work tomorrow. Yes, I want to wear a plague doctor mask as well, Ruka. Goodwill. Nobody had a good concert but dropped your phone. God damn. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care. I won't be on tomorrow night, but I'll probably be on Tuesday night. So take care in the meantime. I think what are we watching? Me and Mrs. Angry watching Mrs. America, about that scary woman, Phyllis Schlafly, in the 70s in the US, who derailed the Equal Rights Amendment. It's an interesting thing. The two leads in this pivotal thing of American politics are Australian actors, Rose Byrne and what's her face? Anyway, brain go bye-bye. Time for bed. See you all later.